Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Salmons, and in each episode, we'll uncover the stories behind successful startups, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're super excited to have Trent Grubb, the founder of Transformation by TJ, joining us. A fitness and mindset company built on the belief that transformation grows beyond abs and aesthetics. It's about habits, resistance, and self-love. With a background as a professional rugby player and overall decade in coaching, TJ has helped thousands of clients achieve sustainable results through his 40-day transformation system, community-driven studios, and a powerful coaching app, all under his belt. So, Trent, very warm welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you, Olivia. Nice to be here.
Amazing having you here. So I like to start the journey with all my guests at the beginning so we can get a nice understanding of maybe yourself, a bit of a background, and then moving forward. So can you take us back to what you was doing before you started your company and then what specific problem you was looking to solve with Transform by TJ?
Yeah, beautiful. Basically, as you mentioned before, I played pro rugby all the way back in 2010. So through that is where I kind of understood the real benefits of discipline, hard work, structure, routine, things like that. I then became a PT. I was doing the 40-day transformations pretty rapidly. That took off pretty quickly with my understanding of mindset because I was obsessed with things like Tony Robbins seminars and all kinds of audiobooks and whatever I get my hands on over the years. So I had a way of getting into the mind first, which I realized was probably the key missing component. Most people weren't missing knowledge of how to lose weight. It's like you take your dog to the vet and they tell you to feed it less and walk it more. So it wasn't a knowledge-based problem. It was mostly a mindset problem. People's mindset was letting them down, victim mindset, and then their habits, structure, and routine. Didn't really know how to pull it all together. So then I'd started Transform 40, the gym, where I found that the group training space was missing that mindset, accountability, and support. It was mainly back in 2017 when I started, just fun music, upbeat workouts, but people weren't seeing results. They were getting fitter and healthier, which is great, but they weren't seeing that physical shift. So yeah, started Transform 40 2017. We grew to 3 facilities pretty rapidly. We're doing really big numbers in our carrying bar facilities. We expanded beyond that. Ran that through COVID. That was challenging. So training people out in the freezing cold all winter. That was lots of fun. And then, yeah, everything shifted for me when I had my first son. So in 2022, had my first son, Wild, and I really fell off the wagon per se. So my whole life was built on discipline, structure, training, being fit, being healthy, keeping my word. And then he came along, the sleepless nights, he had undiagnosed silent reflux. My wife and I were stretched to the limits. She had postnatal depression. We had financial stress because I couldn't focus on the business, had coaches leaving, moving into state. So everything just came crashing down. I put on a bunch of weight. I wasn't training, drinking more, eating worse. And then, yeah, I had a breaking point where one of my two dogs got in a fight and I've actually still got the scar. They got in a big fight and I went to pull them apart. It's like midday on a Tuesday and I was desperate to go to bed and have a little nap before I went back in the afternoon and run my gym. And I put my hand in there and my big guy got me right down to the bone, tore me open. So I went and sat in the emergency room, hand just gaping open, fat, not feeling good. Looked in the window and just thought to myself, like, this isn't working for me. And I realized in that moment, I knew building up that men with kids need a different approach to kids at 22 years old, 23 years old. That's when I started to put together for myself the RISE protocol, where essentially you're resetting your habits, you're integrating a new mindset, a new identity, you're strengthening your body, and you're elevating that mindset going forward. And so it's really basic stuff, and I won't bore everyone with it right now, but essentially just pulling all of that together and realizing that men with busy full-time jobs and kids at home and stuff like that, they can't just be told to do a 2-hour morning routine and train your ass off every day and eat perfectly. It doesn't work for them. So I realized there's a lot of men out there, to answer your question in a really long way, wrapping right around. There's a lot of men out there who need more, and I guess we'll get to that in a little bit.
No, awesome. The journey so far sounds incredible. So you're actually pouring on your own experience and your own journey to then help other people shift their mindset as well and move forward. Incredible. So
Yeah,
let's
that's pretty much how I jumped into it. Yeah, so I didn't want to answer too many questions in one.
No, I love it. And at what point did you shift from the professional rugby to the gym space, or was that still going on in the background as well?
Yeah, no, that was pretty much straight away. So I debuted 2010 and I was just a young guy with not much guidance and just found that I'd achieved my goal and there was no real next goal. So I just fell out of love with footy. It became a job. So then I just bounced from that, traveled all through Europe, had a lot of fun there for a year and came back and started PT.
Awesome. How cool is that? So then let's dive into the PT section of it. Walk us through the current business model. How are you going about attracting your customers? What kind of customers do you love working with? Obviously, I'm assuming guys, men, dads. But how, talk me through that and how is it that you work with these guys?
Happy to. So essentially, my target market is men over 30, predominantly dads. I love helping dads because the story I told before, I find a lot of men out there. Because my thing is, I had a tough upbringing as far as I lost my mother at a young age, divorced before that. So I felt what it was like not to have a stable environment and not to have those kind of healthy, thriving role models. So for myself, now with two young boys, there's nothing more important than showing them that through your actions, what is health, how to treat their mother, how to treat other people, how to carry yourself, how to speak, compared to, I suppose, what I could have been if I didn't get my act back together. And I see a lot of men out there right now who are just living a life of quiet desperation, who hate the body they're in, have no energy, tell the kids no all the time because they can't be bothered to do anything. And they're just drowning in it, not realizing that if they did get their body on track, it's the foundation, the catalyst for everything else. So I love working with men who have young kids because I've been there and I know how brutal it is. Mine are still only 1 and 3, so I'm still in the trenches, but with these daily habits and practices, it changes everything. So how we track those people? Through Instagram mainly. That's kind of my main source or
No.
main channel I utilize. That and a little bit of LinkedIn I've just started and kicking off YouTube this Sunday, funnily enough. Yeah, Instagram, the way I've done it, I've run that for years. With Transform 40, I grew a pretty decent following through that and worked with over 1,000 people doing my services in the system because with each gym, I designed all the programs, the mindset stuff, the meal plans.
Nice.
So thousands of people have used those programs. And through that time, yeah, it's really nailed in on that core offer for men, which
Yeah.
is helping them understand how to shift their mindset, how to develop new habits, how to create a visualization for themselves. So I present all that through different reels and different carousels through Instagram. They then get funneled into like conversations where we just shoot back and forwards, understanding more of the situation. And if there's someone that I think I can help, then we set what we call a transformation call.
Amazing. Yeah. And then I assume from there, would you go on to take the sales call yourself or the discovery call, transformation call, however you want to, terms you want to
Yeah,
use?
I used to do discoveries, and I found that with busy men, you book them in on a Tuesday afternoon. On Monday, you have that chat, and you got to wait till Thursday or Friday. It was pointless.
Yeah.
So I found if I warm them up well enough in the conversation through the direct messaging, then I take that call myself. And it's about a 50 to 60-minute transformation call where essentially let's work through where they are now, where they want to be, what that big gap is, what that bridge is, and what's keeping them where they are right now. We identify those pain points. And then I have a 3-pillar approach, usually encompasses that anyway. And then, yeah, it's less of a pitch. It's more of a just identifying exactly where they are now, where they want to be, and creating really an emotional buying experience
Yeah.
where, yeah, the closing rate's at like 85%.
Amazing. And again, building that trust straight from coming from you, speaking with you. And as you say, it's less of a sales call, more of a let me get to know you, see what we can do, and we'll lay the map out from there. Amazing.
Yeah. And the way I pitch the call in the DMs is like essentially I'll share strategies with you. And by the end, if we want to work together, we can. Worst case scenario, you walk away with a bunch of strategies you can apply to your own life.
Yeah, I love it. Exactly. There's a win-win either way. The fact that the rate is so high is pretty cool too. Obviously, that's you setting the calls and then moving on yourself. So that affects the sales close rate. Close rate. But no, great to see that on your end. So once they're there, you've agreed to work with each other, what does that side of the process look like? Is
Mhm.
it one-to-one coaching? I'm assuming mostly online, but walk me through that side of the offer as well.
Yeah, happy to. So just to jump back quickly, I've got a VA that helps with the initial stuff. So they like
Cool.
work through the funnel and then I'll take
Yeah,
the
yeah.
back end of the conversation. Yeah. So
Nice.
I don't do it because we send out lead magnets, all kinds of things.
You did
Yeah.
the
So
rest.
then once they, yeah, no, it's not all me. Once they do decide to work with us, then I send them like an induction form. Essentially, they fill out a bunch of stuff like what kind of gym they want to train in, meal planning. It's 100% online. There's no face-to-face anymore. They fill that out. We then design their programming, myself and my head coach, Cameron. So there's
Cool.
2 tiers. If they want to work with me, it's a higher ticket. If they want to work with him, it's a lower ticket. They're
Nice.
both high ticket packages, but yeah, his is
Oh, and
it's
yeah,
more affordable.
yeah, you've got the lower end offer as well to tier off from the top. Love it.
That's it. So like the lower end offer is still high for my industry. Just mine's like ridiculous because as I'm running a business, running a company, if I'm trying to attract people, it's very hard to coach 1,000 people. So I only coach about 9 people right now, where he's got a whole bunch. So we keep trying to keep it that way as much as possible. But yeah, so they come on board, we do the induction form, and then we go out building their programs. And they've got a drip fed mindset platform that's standard across the board. So that things around leadership, masculinity, habits, where they are in their journey as a
Love it.
drip fed throughout. Like week 6 is different to week 1, of course, like what I'm prompting them with. So they get access to that on the Sunday. They'll do an onboarding call on the Saturday or Sunday with myself or my head coach, Cameron, to go through my custom app, how to utilize that, how the mindset content works. I build a mission statement. So we go through that. It's kind of, here's your line in the sand moment. You're 110 kilos. The goal is 90 by Christmas. Here's what we're going to do, A, B, C, D. So yeah, it's very comprehensive in that. And then once they're in, there's a whole bunch of accountability support. So it's the biggest factor missing with most programs out there. Like I said before, people don't need exactly more knowledge. They need more precision, more specifics of what to do, but they need support and accountability, because you don't really
Yeah.
need coaching until you need it. For example, like one of my star clients at the moment, he owns his own gym. He's lost 12 kilos in 10 weeks and just crushed his finger. So that's usually where blokes just fall apart, or anyone falls apart. You sprain your ankle, everything goes out the window. He's
Yeah.
just crushed his finger. He's got to get surgery tomorrow, but I've already got a plan for it. He's been doing stuff this week, just keeping his steps up, he's eating well, he's kept his mindset, get the surgery, then we have a plan on the back of that. So
Love it.
that constant touch point conversation, text messages. I do a weekly Zoom with the guys in the top program just to go over their mindset and make sure everything's integrating properly. So yeah, it's an ecosystem where you can't really not get results unless you completely ghost us.
No, that's incredible. And I do come from a heavy background in sports. I love my sports. And I would still pay a trainer purely for the motivation purposes, as you're literally saying. It's more the
Mm.
accountability behind it sometimes. So the fact they have one-to-one access with you pretty much 24/7, they're there, they've got someone pushing them. Like, I feel like that community side of it must be a big angle to play on as well.
For sure. I think a lot of people are missing that. People out there who are struggling on their own.
Yeah.
I have the conversations all the time where they've gone like 95 kilos down to 90, back to 95, and they're going, oh, like I know how to train, I know how to eat, I don't need help. It's the proof's in the pudding. Literally, the pudding's you. So you need to fix the pudding, which is having that support and accountability. That's everything. You know what I mean? That's why coaches exist. Like Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer's best players in the world. They know how to swing a racket, but they've still got 7 coaches to make sure they do all the right things every day.
100%. It's just keeping them on track. It's
Yeah,
we know what you're doing. We're just going to make sure you do it. I think is kind of
exactly right.
and the coaching from that. So talk to me a little bit about the marketing. I know you mentioned big on Instagram. You've got the reels coming out. Do you do all that stuff yourself, or do you have help or a team member that does that alongside you as well?
Yeah. Currently, I'm in Bali, which is great for videography. So I've got a videographer that comes once a week, and we just film a bunch of reels or a bunch of B-roll, a bunch of content in the villa and sometimes at a gym.
Amazing.
And then we're working on the editing side because his first briefs weren't that great, or his first drafts. So I've got an editor who I've been using for years anyway in the Philippines. So I'm thinking he'll take the content and then I'll send it off to her to
Nice.
cut down the effort of trying to get the editing right. So that happens on that side of things. Then when I get the finished product, I do all the posting on my own Instagram myself, and the captions and comments and stuff like that I respond to. And then we just do the paid marketing through Meta. So I will
Cool.
boost Reels as like a way of just getting new followers as a main attraction. And at the
Yeah.
same time, I'll usually always run like a direct message offer where it's me in a reel speaking about the results you can see and some proof, and then getting them to message like a keyword like coaching, something like that.
Nice. And then from there, they go into the funnels as we touched on earlier on when we went through the sales process. Sick.
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't use like my actual landing page and that funnel too much just yet. I just don't have the volume.
Yeah.
So it feels like another distraction for them. So I just bring them through the conversation funnel right now. But as we sort out the content and make it better and better, that's when I'll start sending people directly to the link.
Cool. Amazing. Yeah. So looking to grow as you move forward through the different channels. So talk
Sure.
to me about growth. What are the plans for the next 12 months? Have you got any specific targets or goals that you're looking to achieve?
Mhm. Yeah, so I would say my target by December is doing 40K months online. That's the
Perfect.
main December goal. And then that will be done through scaling social media big time, scaling the marketing side of things, the spend. At the moment, it's very difficult. I'd say like my number one kind of constraint would be the content itself, just getting
Yeah.
content that converts at the right price per follower and per message, because there's no point in scaling it if that price isn't right. So just getting that content up to scratch. And the funniest thing is these days, like I saw a meme the other day. It's like you're a grown man running a grown trying to sell a business to grown adults, but you've got to film TikToks like a child. It's so true. Like social media these days, like you just have to play the game, unfortunately. So it's just keeping up with that and producing content that just keeps people's attention enough to, like I said before, once they come through the funnel, we convert at 85% because they see the value in the product. It's
Yeah.
just getting them to that point.
Yeah, 100%. That's a lot of the coaches we work with as well. As much as they have the value there, they have their point, and they know 100% know that they once they get that person in the door, their offer is going to work for them. It's just how do you get that
Mm.
person in the door? And I've never actually heard that quote you're saying there when grown adults attracting grown adults by using TikTok. Crazy, it actually made me chuckle. I never thought of it that way around before. So in terms of that, so do you mind me asking how much you're currently spending on kind of Instagram ads at the moment or Meta ads?
Yeah, no dramas. So I'm doing between 70 and 100 Australian dollars a day.
Oh, okay, cool. And then from there, yeah, I was obviously working on the return on investment to see the scale from this to see the scale.
Yeah,
So
exactly right.
how are you looking? Are you looking to make any pivots to help you achieve that? Obviously, we worked on the videos and just the content. Have you got any other behind the scenes stuff going on to help with the attraction?
The content's a big one, just getting that really honed in, which it's not bad and the numbers aren't terrible, but I just want them a little bit better before I really ramp up the spend. But I
Yeah.
think moving into more LinkedIn, which is how we got connected, and YouTube, which I'm starting this weekend. I think just for my market, they're the more mature kind of places to find those people, especially high performers who have let it all go through LinkedIn and YouTube, just building that trust. Because I think the long form stuff's really going to pay off in the long run, where it's so competitive on Instagram. There's 1,000 different coaches hitting you with pretty similar messages that you can get very overwhelmed. Where if you get someone on YouTube and they watch 30, 40, 50 minutes of content, then you become that trusted source in that area.
Yeah, fully. If someone's already spent that much time watching a video of you, half the challenge is done already. We
100%.
here at Closers, we actually use YouTube as our kind of main funnel tool at the moment for one of our offers, and definitely the success is different from the different platforms, but YouTube is the one that we've definitely cracked the most. Pays off
Mm.
massively.
Oh, and I think that's the hardest to crack. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we tried several. We do use several platforms and several offers, but YouTube is our big raker at the moment. So, with that being said, and coming at the end of time, I want to move into a bit of a lightning round with you. What would be the best piece of advice you've ever received about scaling a business?
Best piece of advice I've ever received. Probably that you must create an offer that is so compelling, but then you have to deliver twice what you offer.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Consistency in the offer on the back end. And then what would be one tool or resource that you say has been a big game changer within your business so far?
Well, Go High Level is very handy. CRM, that's a massive game changer. That's pretty fundamental. I would say from a coaching perspective and even like a learning perspective, Fathom, like recording Zooms like
Yeah.
this and just getting like a really clean printout. So I can have an hour conversation with someone that's highly emotional and that's hard to remember everything. I can just literally just drop that in a chat GPT and say, just give me the like the cliff notes and build. That's where I build like the mission for them, the client profile, everything off that one conversation because we've gone back and forth. I've got their age, their weight, their height, their struggles. So I think Fathom's been a game changer.
Fathom, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but I'd say chat GPT as well. No, like AI within the coaching
Yeah.
must have saved you hundreds of hours of writing out plans and recoercing
Yeah.
plans for people as well.
That's it's a kind of a catch 22 because yes, it has, but also I was always really good at that kind of stuff, especially like scripting and captions. So it's brought everyone up with me because I've been doing this for 12 years and I was filming videos 10 years ago. So like I feel like now in the coaching space, you can not know much but pretend you do, which is something that's yeah, it's
God.
catch 22. It's made I'm highly more efficient because I can utilize it. But then I like to have things my own kind of words and my own tone as well. So I feel like it's made a lot of poor coaches look better than they are.
100%. It's definitely given, I feel like it was getting like that with kind of Instagram and socials anyway. You had like the wannabe coaches coming in with their 2 cents that maybe didn't really make sense and giving wrong information. And AI has definitely
Mhm.
enhanced them people. I've
Yeah,
seen,
like you got good looking young influencers who really have
yeah,
no idea, but they just look good and people want
yeah,
to buy their program or get advice from them. And unfortunately, it's not going to work for them.
yeah. And as a final question, so what advice would you give to any founders who are listening and just at the start of their journey?
I would say pay to speed up your process. Don't try and slug it out on your own. Find someone who's done what you want to do and either work for them for free and learn as quick as you can, or if you have the money, pay for them to coach you, because you can always get money back, especially if you're starting a company or a business and you're doing the right things, you're willing to put the inputs in, but you can't get time back. So don't slave away for 3 or 4 years on your own. You could probably get like what I'm talking about now, like my kind of coaching business. It took me, I'd never done the online front before. It took me 3 months to get going with a coach and making good money. So yeah, I'd say just pay for speed.
But yeah, you've always got to invest money to make money. I think that's the saying at the end of the day.
Mm.
So again, if you want to better
Yeah.
yourself, coaching
Well,
is
you're
where.
paying with time or money, it's up to you. So which one's more precious to you? And if you're starting a business and you back yourself and you think you can make decent money, coaching usually to get going isn't that expensive.
Yeah, very true. And you can run out of money, but you can definitely run out of time, which I suppose is the big
100%.
saver there. So, with that is a wrap on another inspiring episode of Founders Future. I want to thank TJ, Trent John, very much for joining us. And Trent, when can people go to connect with you and reach out?
Yeah, thanks, Olivia. And thank you for having me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. You guys can find me on Instagram with the handle of Transformation by TJ. So Transformation by TJ on Instagram and Trent John Grubb on LinkedIn. And you'll find Trent John Coaching on YouTube as of Sunday.
There we go. And thank you to our listeners. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future via wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and really looking to scale and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, please visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we were able to go from 0 to 30 million in less than 3 years. But until then, keep climbing and we will see you on the next one.